There's a shorter one. Okay. Welcome everybody. Welcome. So today you guys made a very kind decision, kind to yourself and kind to others, to come here and try this meditation day. I think if people knew how amazing the benefits of doing a retreat in a time before all the holidays and the everything that we're gonna have to the end of the year, all of the shopping, all of the family, all of these and all of that, right? So take the best gift you can give yourself, end of the year gift, Christmas gift. Because actually doing a retreat like we're gonna do today, even though you're not in a setting that people say, oh, but we're literally in the middle of the cove, right? With a lot of shoppings, a lot of things around. But actually the retreat, it's in here, right? And here. So that's what we're gonna do retreat. That's the where and how we're gonna do the retreat. It's not about, only outside. Of course, the outside conditions, they are very important to help us, right? So that's what we're going to try to keep it today. So that's why today I always try. The last time we did that, we're going to try today. There's a little bit less people, so that's better actually, because last time there was too many people for this space. So it was a little bit, we were bumping into each other. But today I'm going to really ask you to try to keep it. Oh, good to see you. First, to turn off your phones, right? So that is important. Please try to turn off your phone so we don't have any type of for ourselves, but also for others, so to bother others. And we're gonna try to keep silence for the day. Hmm? Really good. Silence is an extremely powerful tool to help us find a little bit more of actually silence inside of ourselves. And why silence is important? Because let's face it, our minds right now, they are absolutely non-stop talking, no? When you have what is the name of that thing when you have a football game or like any sports and you have the announcer, like say, that's how our minds work, no? It's all the time there, non-stopping. The thing is, we can't really stop it. It's always there, it's going to be there. But what we can do, that's what we're going to try to do today, is to give something useful for it to do it. Yes? Because right now we don't give so much like nice things for it to use. We just go to, oh, next shopping list. Oh, I need to do Christmas. I need to do this. I need to do, oh, after here, that I have to, what I'm going to have for lunch and dinner. We're already like this, thinking already things in order to kind of like, have something else. And always the next kick, the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. So that makes us really, in some ways, waste the mind, the power of the mind, the potential of the mind. Because the mind has the potential to actually use all of its thoughts, emotions, feelings, sensations, all of the speech, all of the actions of the body, yes, that comes from the start in the mind. Yes, we always do something before we do anything with our body or with our mind, with our speech, comes from the mind. So the potential of the mind is to make all of these beneficial. Beneficial for whom? For ourselves. And as His Holiness says, if we can, to, be, to benefit others. Hmm? So that's what we're going to try to do today. We're going to try to use meditation as a tool to go inside of ourselves. Yes. To really try to develop those qualities. That's what meditation actually means. Meditation means familiarization. We need to familiarize ourselves. Familiarize ourselves with what? With this potential that we have within ourselves to use our body, our speech, our own minds to benefit ourselves and others. Yes? And how do we do that? By creating positive, virtuous mental states. And why do we need familiarization with it? Because right now our minds are familiarized with not so virtues, mental states, right? It's just that. It's just that we have a habitual tendency, the autopilot. I learned how to say these words because I would say autopilot. And they say, no, 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 I'm in America. America would say autopilot. Yeah, like fast like this, autopilot. So the autopilot, actually, if we think about it, is just using our body, speech, and mind for looking for attachments. Everything that we like to hear, to see, to smell, to taste, to touch, huh? And nice thoughts or ideas that we have or concepts that we have in our minds. We all the time like this. But guess what? These things, they give a very temporary, little pleasure. And therefore, we go hunting, chasing for more again and again and again. So then what happens? We feel depleted, like the cartridge. Yes, that we say that was depleted. The cartridge, how do you say cartridge?
Yes.
Cartridge was depleted, no ink. So it's us, no energy, tired. Or even when we think that we are doing good, so many people ask and say, oh, but I'm so kind, I'm so generous to others, I'm so helpful, but I always feel so tired afterwards. Well, it's because the mind, it's not being really truly using its potential. So that's what we're going to try to do it today. We're going to try to make sure that we can touch some of these virtues, these potentials that we have within ourselves, so we can completely transform it. Yeah? Habituated by familiarization, by sitting down and really putting the mind to work in our favor. Yes? Does it make sense what I'm saying? Yes? That is what the potential of meditation actually is transformation. And guess what? After that, or not after, on the pursuit of this potential, of the development of this potential, what happens? We also get relaxation. We sleep better. We focus more. We have more space within ourselves. We are kinder. We are more like relaxed. So all of these are good side effects, let's say like this. Yes? So they're good results out of it, but they are not the goal. So let's not make meditation something that we just want to feel good. Yes? I just want to feel good, so I'm going to meditate. Actually, sometimes meditation is quite the opposite. It's to see some things that we might not like so much, but we're going to see it in the light, yes, with the light of a virtue positive mental state. So we can transform that aspect that is completely in the autopilot, yeah, in the habitual tendency of just seeing something in one way, right? Just like this. But we're going to try to analyze it in a different and more positive way so we can actually see its entirety. Does it make sense? Because right now, normally we are just like this, no? Glued. We have one idea, one vision, and we get stuck. So that's why sometimes we feel, I'm going to use a word that I don't even know if it's sluggish. Yes, like sluggish like this, or the mind, and we feel empty, or there is anxiety, or there is kind of like all of these. It's because the mind is literally stuck with something. Yes, so there's no movement, and the mind is like the river. It needs movement. It needs to continue moving, and not only needs to continue moving, but we want to develop the choice to where and how this water of the mind will flow. We don't want to just allow it to go everywhere, because that's normally what we are doing. And then we are exhausted. Yes. But we want to focus it and really bring it to a positive places where it can then help to germinate, yeah, or to sprout, yes, positive mental states and positive experiences for ourselves. Yes, it's very important that we understand the potential of the mind and the potential of meditation so we can do what we're going to do today. So we're going to do a series of meditations. Yes. But in order for us to meditate, we also need to understand what we are meditating on. So every session is going to be a 40-minute meditation. Okay? However, I'm going to have to probably talk between 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the topic. I'm going to really be strong with myself to only try to keep for 5 to 10 minutes to explain a little bit the topic that we're going to meditate on. Yes? So it can make sense. Because meditation, as I was saying, we use our mental uh, concepts, our rational ideas, our logic to analyze something. Does it make sense? So meditation, we say there's mainly two types. One is focusing meditation, hmm, or calm abiding, abiding in calmness. Sounds good. The problem is why we need that, because now we have a monkey mind. Yes? Jumping all over the place. It's like, computers, you open a new window. Yes? Or in the phone, you open a new app. Have you ever I didn't know. I'm very bad with these things. And then one day I learned, someone taught me that if you do like this, then you see everything that is open. Wow. Almost all the apps were open, right? And it's like just like this. It's like, wow, this is exactly the mind. Huh? We're just living open windows, open apps, and this goes draining ourselves. Hmm? So actually, concentration meditation, one of the aims is for us to be able to concentrate on something, yes, for as long as we want, hmm? For how long we want to, and whatever we want to concentrate on. Yes? So two aspects. For how many minutes, hours, days, years we want, or and for in choosing the topic or the mind, the object that we want to concentrate on. Right now, if I say to you guys, don't think about burrito, don't think about burrito, then the mind immediately starts, especially maybe in 2 hours like this, and lunch is starting. Don't think about, don't think about. So we can't. We don't have the control to actually stay with an object. Think about it. We're going to meditate today, and I'm going to say to you guys, okay, pay attention to the breath. Okay, you do it for 1 second. Then mind's gone. Yeah, gone, completely gone. So this is normal. Monkey mind, or mind being scattered, mind being opening windows again and again and again, is autopilot, normality. Okay? So guess what? When we try to contain it, yes, to focus, yes, it's going to be hard. So brace yourselves for it. Hmm? Brace yourselves, prepare yourselves for that experience of, yes, it's hard and it's going to be difficult. And if you accomplish maybe 5 seconds or 3 seconds, wow, tap yourself on the left shoulder and say, well done. Because it is hard. But the mind can. And the more we do it, the easier it becomes, the concentration. It's easy to see how we can concentrate. Think about something that you really like or really enjoy, or even when you are very angry at someone, wow, the concentration is amazing in hating that person. Think about it. It's true. But we're totally focused. Huh? That person. And someone is talking to you and you're like, no, in your mind. Or we start to daydream about or not daydream, but kind of like we're gonna plan a trip or something like this. Wow, we start with single focus. Think about that, no? Or when we are in love, and then that person is like, wow, doesn't get out of our heads, that's concentration. However, as I was saying, the autopilot is putting those objects that not necessarily are the most virtuous ones for us to be concentrating on, right? So that's what we are trying to transfer, to change, to transform. Does it make sense? Yes? So the first one, the type of meditation then is concentration. So is the idea of us being able to choose a more virtuous, positive mental state and then engage with it, stay with it. Yeah? For as long as we want. That is also quite difficult. But we can do it. So that's what we're going to do. So we all of these 40-minute sessions, they always going to have a bit of concentration meditation to prepare the mind. Hmm? And then out of it, we're not going to be able to transform the mind just by concentrating or just being aware of what's going on in our minds. That's why sometimes I'm very arrogant and, so I say is my criticism on the mindfulness movement. Mindfulness is very good, but it's not able to transform the mind in itself. Hmm? Mindfulness is a tool to be aware of what's going on in the mind. And then what? Now you are aware. How you transform the mind just being aware of it. Actually, sometimes it becomes the opposite. You become aware and you become aware of some situation, some problem, some anger, some pain and all of that. And then it becomes overwhelming because you don't know what to do with it. Sometimes it happens. I had unfortunately had people like that they went for 10 days meditation retreat and then they came back, but it was only mindfulness and they were totally lost because they saw a lot of things, but they didn't know how to work with them. So what are we going to do? How to work with them? The best antidote to work with them, these situations, replacing, shifting the mind, putting an antidote with a positive mental state. So we're going to do that. But for us to be able to do that, we need to first understand the problem, really realize the topic that we are meditating on. And then we're going to come and bring a different point of view, as I said. Yes? A more positive one. And that, with time, will make us come to a conclusion that, oh, I didn't need to see it like this. Actually, this situation is like that, right? Now I can see for what it is. And then what we're going to do when we have that conclusion? We come with the concentration that we just familiarize ourselves with, trained, and then we stay with that. Does it make sense? We stayed with that new understanding, the more positive, the one that brings more peace and happiness for myself and for others. Yes? And we stay with this until this becomes the autopilot. Does it make sense? Do you guys understand the mechanics of it? Mm-hmm. Then it's easy. Okay, now finish. We're going to go home. That is important that we understand. Now that you understand the mechanics, now we need to practice. Okay? So that's what we're going to try to do today. So we're going to meditate on different topics. So we're going to do meditations that they have as goal to meditate on certain topics that will be transforming some of the understandings. Yes? So some of the meditations, we're going to do a meditation on death today. Yes? So these meditations, because we're going to be analyzing some of these topics with a different view, with a different point of view, they can be a bit challenging. So things can come up. Does it make sense? What I mean by coming up? Yes? Things that we have been very good in hiding, in not wanting to pay attention, or not being able to really take care of it because of life, not because we are afraid of it, or we are kind of like stupid, or we are whatever. Nothing negative. We need to stop with this negative self-talk with ourselves. Okay? First, I woke up to these today. It's very funny. Woke up and then did some things, and then I took my phone, and there was all of these lists of people, and all of them with the same topic in some ways, like almost saying, "Oh no, because I'm having this problem because of this and that and this," and I'm just thinking, why these people don't think that they can solve this problem? Why these people don't think that actually they are able to? You know? It's because we have these negative self-talk with ourselves. We are very critical of ourselves. Yes? We are very kind of like a tough. Yes? We are very, sometimes we can be our best friends and our worst enemies. And normally we are mostly all the times are not necessarily enemies, but wow, a bit authoritarian with ourselves. I should be like this. I have to be like this. I shouldn't be. Okay, so today let's relax a bit. This I can do everything wrong. There's no, I need to perfect the meditation. Oh, but I'm not being able to concentrate in what Kalden is saying. Good. Don't concentrate, but relax the mind. Yes? Also letting go of that tightness it's already a very important way to help us. So, good morning. So it's very important that we try to really use this time as well to give a little bit of ourselves a break. Yes? There are a lot of problems, a lot of situations, a lot of things that we would love to spend time thinking about it. I would suggest today, try not to. You will find the solution. But if you try to overanalyze it as well, and with the same type of mind that we are doing, doesn't help. I said I had to say this to my mom today. She was freaking out with something, and I said, "Mom, I love you, but you are being a pain with this. And I'm so sorry to say this to you, but yes, there is a teaching happening at the center in Brazil, right?" And I said, focus on the teaching, give a lot of attention to the teachings, forget about this problem. You know, I'm going to give today the course as well. I'm going to relax with these. And then tomorrow, with a more open minded, open heart, we take care of the situation, right? Because we think that, no, I need to find a solution. And the faster I find a solution, there's nothing we can do. Until Monday, nothing you can do, you know? So I say, relax. But then we don't think that relax, we don't give ourselves, yes, the possibility or the permission. Yeah, that's a good word to relax the mind. The more we open and make the mind like this, like an ocean, as Lamayeshi used to say. Lamayeshi used to say, make your mind like an ocean. Yes, the more you do it, the more space you have, the more creativity comes up, the more you can see the situation from different viewpoints, the better the solution. Yes. So again, another thing that we're going to try to do today is that as well. Gives ourselves a little break from the neurotic, the neurotic mind that we have. Just give yourself a break. Okay. Shantideva, the 7th century master, he was an Indian master, very accomplished, and he wrote beautiful texts. And he used to say something: if a problem has a solution, why worry about it? Worrying just make the mind tight, right? And it doesn't help us to find a solution. So don't worry, find a solution and deal with it. If a situation doesn't have a problem, doesn't have a solution, worrying it is not going to solve it. So why? Right? It sounds very simple, very hard in some ways because we love to worry about things, but it's the best way of thinking. Hmm? So that's what we're going to try to familiarize ourselves with. Okay? So we're gonna do so these different meditations on these different topics, and some of these topics might bring things. So if it is too much to pay attention and try to, that's why I started to say, try to go through it. Yes, not engage into what is coming up. You try to go through it. If it becomes too much and you get stuck, then take a little bit of time, even during the meditation. Yes, and give a bit of space for it. Because normally, the two main ways that we deal with situations that are uncomfortable for us is repression or aversion. Yes? We just do like or far away. Yes? So in that circumstances, sometimes if we do have the right moment, then we can give a little bit of space for that. Yes? We can give a bit of space. Because if we are too stuck, then we cannot go beyond it. So try to use what we are talking, what we are meditating on, to try to see it, to make it, unglue it a little bit, yes? And try to see it a little bit better. Makes sense? Yes? So I'm here giving ideas and things that are going to happen today. Yes? That might happen today. So, and then all of the sessions, they have 5 aspects or 5 steps every session. First one is the posture, so we can use the body. Yes, the body is very important, and especially you guys going to be sitting down for a long time. Yes, normally most time that you might be used to, make yourselves comfortable. Yeah, I think I said about that the other day in a, I can't remember in which class, but in when I teach in the monastery in Nepal, we have like 150 people sometimes. So we have people with all different bodies and experiences. And I always say to them, really make your body comfortable. Especially, if you're sitting down, if the knees are flying like this, it's gonna might be hurtful for you for a month. So put some cushion and support, right? So then I say that, and then I give them. I say, okay, go and pick up some cushions for doing that. And then I like those people that they come and they put like, they create that kind of like. I like it. So they put lots of support, and I say, yes, that's what I want. And also is like if you want, there is more. We have more cushions over there, so do that. Yes, for yourself. But also we're gonna have a little break soon, and then you guys can do that. But if also those that are sitting on chairs, if you want to kind of like how do you say that? Switch, yes, between sitting on the floor, sitting on a chair, sitting on the floor. Also, you guys, feel free, whatever the body needs. Yes, because we don't also to be the body to become a hindrance. Because if we have pain, that's when the mind goes. No, the mind normally goes into that pain, to that distraction. Why? Because it wants to make it go away. Hmm? Does it make sense? So if we have the body already settled, then okay. So that is important. So the first thing is the body. Second is the mental posture, as I like to call it. What does it mean? It means actually the intention in which we're going to do the meditation. The mental posture is like the intention, the motivation of why we are doing it. Yes? And why is it important? Because, as I say, the intention or the motivation will bring the result. So if I have the intention to do something, then my body, my speech is going to go into that direction. Hmm? Does it make sense? If I have the intention to become a doctor, I'm gonna make my body and my speech to accomplish that. Does it make sense? If I want to eat a burrito, I'm gonna bring my body and my to Casa Maya, right? That's what's gonna happen. So mind, the intention is very important. So it's very important that we understand that we are trying to cultivate a positive intention. So we every session we're going to try to cultivate that positive intention, remembering, yes, reminding ourselves why we are here and why we can accomplish and why we are doing what we are doing. Because we could be using our Saturdays for so many other things, maybe sleeping or catching up or cooking or going to the market or doing so many things, but you guys decided to be here, so use that time wisely. Because I can say something, I can't promise the results, but I can promise that what you're doing here is much more valuable and there is a much better benefit for your well-being and the well-being of others around you than anything else you could have been thinking about doing. Hmm? Because not only you're gonna in the moment experience something positive, yes, even if it is challenging, but when you have a challenge, but you have the tools and the trust to go through this challenge, the challenge becomes enjoyable, right? It's not something that you say anymore, I don't want this. Okay, I can go through this. Yes, let's do it, Hmm? When you have to kind of like clean something dirty or, kind of like, okay, today is, cleaning up the house day. You say, okay, let's do it. So that's why we can like really think about that, say, wow, you can do it. So then you're going to become happy here, but also the seeds and the habits you're going to be creating by doing these meditations, they will also sprout and come in moments that you really need. So this is very very good. Yeah. Meditation is also a way to plant seeds so they can ripen in the moment that we most need. Yeah. When the anger comes, when that situation, someone breaks our heart, or some very serious situation, in our lives comes, because don't worry, they will come. Eventually, they all will come. Yes, sickness, death, old age, all of these difficulties, they will come. Yeah. So then at least we are creating, we are kind of like putting ourselves together and developing these tools to deal with it. So that is why the motivation is so important. So then we're going to plant the seeds. Yes? Motivation is like, developing that wish. So then we plant the seed of concentration. So that is the third step, always, as I explained already, that to concentrate and focus the mind. Then we're going to make the analytical meditation. And we always, on the topic that I'm going to talk about it before. And then the fifth one is dedication. What dedication means? Dedication means that when we finish the meditation, let's make sure that we're going to use whatever insight, whatever conclusion, whatever benefit we took from that to really bring with us when we stand from the cushion or the chair. So it doesn't stay here. Because then what happens? We believe that only when I sit there is that I can accomplish those mental states, those positive mental states. No, there's no good. No good. Unfortunately, I've seen people thinking that, right? So then you grasp to my meditation, to my thing, and then gone. Because then you believe that you only have those positive mental states, those good experiences, feeling good when you sit down to meditate. Hmm? Yes, that's very good because then the more you meditate, you can accomplish, but you're not going to be 24/7 meditating. And then what? So then it becomes a crutcher, crutcher, crutch. Yes, then it becomes a crutch. You know. And here is not about that. He's becoming about freeing yourself. Yes, from those situations that you don't like, from those negative habits, from the autopilot. Yes, the negative autopilot, and actually creating one that is sustainable, that you stay all the time. The idea, this beautiful text that talk about the session, the meditation session, which is the five things that we talk about: the posture, the motivation, the concentration meditation, the analytical meditation, and the dedication. And they say that and doing whatever we are doing in our daily lives should be equal. Yeah, no difference. Same mind. But I don't know you. I'm still not there. So I try to create a very strong imprint when I am doing the practice, the sitting practice. And then when I am in between the sessions, so when we are on the break, I'm gonna ask you to keep silence. Yes, as I said, we try to keep silence and we try to use this space as a way. So you can just sit down. There is paper if you want to write down some insights or something that came. Yeah, this is very good. I think journaling, yeah, journaling, very good for the mind. You know, I don't do it myself. I say that journaling for me would need to be speaking because I don't stop speaking. Sometimes I send message. The other day I sent a message to a friend of mine, and he's a monk and he was not so well, and he called me and I said okay, and then he said, but how is everything in Florida? How was the pilgrimage? How was that? And it was 15 minutes. I was walking on the beach or something. I can't remember where I was, and I just went like, and I sent it to him. It's like podcast. Listen while you are kind of like doing something important. And I said to him, like, see when you are cooking or something like that. So, ninja, poor guy. So then use the time we have in between sessions for that, for writing down. There's amazing books here in the library as well. So maybe take one, get inspired, or just relax as well. If you want, you can stretch, you can put some of the mats and stretch your backs. The only thing that we normally say that is not in Buddhism, in the West, in the East, it's not very respectful to point your feet toward the altar and toward the Buddha figures because the feet is normally we are kind of like, stay using and dirty sometimes, especially at those times they didn't have shoes, so it was always dirty and all of that. So it's just to indicate respect, right? And respect doesn't mean because we should respect on a blind faith, but because this represents your future, your own future of being free from all suffering and being completely happy. So if you don't respect your own future, you will never put the effort to actually achieve it. Very smart, these Buddhist people. Yes. So that's why. That's why I started saying as well about we need to really develop that we can do this. Yes. Because if we can, look at how many things you're all accomplished in your lives. You accomplished so much. Hmm? So much. All of you. Oh no, but I no, you accomplished. Whatever it is, you accomplished so much. So you can accomplish even more if you want. Yes. It's just that we need to make sure that the autopilot is not the one taking the decisions. So that's why we are here. Yes? Is it clear? Any questions so far? Good. I don't know what's going on. I think it's the full moon. I'm becoming better in focusing the speech and then just going through what I need to say. So we're gonna have a 15 minutes break. Yes, for you guys to sit down. Then maybe 10 minutes we can do. 10 minutes just to see if you can want to have a little tea or water. It's very important also to drink, okay, today because you're gonna be sitting down. But actually, there's a lot of energy going on. Mental energy is one of the most tiring energies that we use the body for. Yeah. Thinking and all of that is like depleting to the body sometimes. Yeah. So take care of the body as well. So stretch. We have a yoga teacher here. So if you want, so it's like you also know, oh, it was Thomas. Thomas, yes. Thomas also. So, then you can kind of like also move the body, drink something, pee pee break, and then we come back and then we're going to do the first session. Yes? So just please have in mind the silence. Yeah? If you need something, just come and talk to me. Just say, or if you just want to write down, yes? Okay. And in between sessions, when we have breaks, if you also have a question or something that came up that you would like, just come here and we talk. Yeah, we just try to keep a little bit quiet so we don't bother, but we do that. Is that okay? Is it clear? Yes. So then we're gonna have that. We're gonna have a session, a little break, session, a little break, like this. So it doesn't become too much. So that's why the sessions also I said, you know what? Like normally in Kopan in the monastery we do 45 minutes. But normally, there's not so much talking and it becomes too long, 45 minutes sometimes. I did that last time and it didn't work. I could see people was like going out, right? So then I said, okay, let's do 40 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. I talk and then we have a half an hour. Perfect. Delicious. We taste it, we feel it. Ah, okay. Because that's the idea today. Today is just a taster. Taster, we say? Yes? It's kind of like we go in and now I want more. Yes? Yes, dear.
I have a question.
Okay.
What is enlightenment and how do you know when you got there?
So enlightenment is the goal of Buddhism. Yes? So it's the mind. Enlightenment is a mental state. It's not a place. You can't buy a ticket to go to enlightenment. Yes? So enlightenment is a state where two things are present. Or, yeah, I'm going to say like this. Or one thing is not present and one thing is present. One thing that is not present is suffering and causes of suffering. So there's no suffering. Any type of suffering, there's no suffering. Yes, mental struggles, there's no anxiety, there's no feeling I'm not enough, there is no low self-esteem, there is no grasping, there is no dissatisfaction, there's nothing. Yes. So when I talk about that, normally people say then I'm a robot. Yes. And I say what? The opposite. Because when you actually clear yourself of this, you are able to then full Yes, fool yourself, not fool with but
Feel.
fill yourself, yes, with love, compassion, kindness, joy, yes, in unconditional and unlimited way. So we become so filled with this that we manifest it in ways to benefit others. So that is enlightenment. It's a mental state. It's a mental state that we all have the potential right here, right now to achieve. Everybody. Not everybody that is in this room only, everybody in this world. 8 billion people. And not only everybody that is in this world, but all animals, because they also have a mind, right? And all the animals that we don't see, or all the spirits that we don't see as well, right? All of them have the potential. Yeah. Because it's a feature of the mind. Feature? Does it make sense? Why? Because the suffering and the causes of the suffering that we have right now, they are not inherent part of the mind. They are not a function. They are not a kind of like a necessary part of the mind. The mind can exist without them. Yes? It can exist without selfishness. It can exist without anger, without attachment. It can exist without all of this. Why we know that it can exist? Because nobody is 100% of the time with these emotions, these negative emotions. We hope. No? So if this means that if we have spaces where this is not needed and we don't die, we don't disappear, it means that we can spread it. Yes, this gap until this gap becomes reality. Does it make sense what I'm saying? So we need to then find out how to do that by understanding the causes of it. And once we eliminate the causes for that to arise, it never arises again. So the gap is there. Does it make sense? And love, compassion, kindness, if we can experience that right now, we already experience love, we already experience compassion, we already experience, but it's limited and conditional. Means if you, what is in that for me? If you do it for me, I'll do it for you. Okay? That's the idea. So we can do it without any condition. So if we're able to do that, then the mind can start. And the more we do that, the more joyful, happier we become ourselves. Because we see that actually the mind without those neuroses, it's a happy mind. Hmm? It's a free mind, it's a peaceful mind. And a mind that is full of love and compassion is a happy mind. We all know that. When we are in love, we are happy. No. When we do something, we are happy. Why? Because the mind is. But the mind is happy with this. Something very temporary with something that is going to finish. Can you imagine? Live with this all the time without worrying if it's going to finish or not, because you know it's going to finish. And then you enjoy even more. So that's the idea of enlightenment. Yes? That was the first question. What is the second one? How to get there? No.
How do you know when you're enlightened?
How do you know?
Just tell you.
Don't worry, you will know. It's nobody tells you, nobody gives you and say there's a graduation for all the enlightened people. You know, it's like, come on, you achieved that, okay. You just know it. And it's a gradual path to enlightenment, right? That's what we're gonna do here today. We're gonna gradually meditate on topics that will bring us there. Yeah. So you go by feeling these, you become less, the suffering become less and the happiness and joy becomes more. Yeah. Sometimes still the suffering becomes very strong, even on the path, even when you are right. Why? Because some big things are coming up, things that you were not seeing before. Yes, so you need to deal with them. So then it feels that wow, it's so big still, but then you have more tools, yes, to deal with this. So then it goes. It's like layers. Yes, you go layer after layer like that. Yes. Okay. So 10 minutes break. Wow, perfect. 10:50. So 10 minutes break and then we come back. Yes, just don't forget the